Mama, I am so glad that you have decided to do this course, helping your daughter be confident in her relationships. This is really about helping her in her relationship with God, with you, and with all the others around her, especially her friendships. In these preteen years, there's a lot that she is learning and growing and changing, and so your intentionality to pursue her heart is really going to be profound in the long-term foundation that she has with God and others. So hopefully by now you have set up a once-a-month date. I really want to encourage you to be consistent with that and making sure that you set aside that 1.5 to 2 hours so that you have time to really process with your daughter. This is really a fantastic time to get to know who she is and to help her get to know you. So in this month's lesson, we're starting out with time budgeting. It might feel a little bit left field from talking about relationships, but the reality is if we don't take time or make time for our relationships, then they don't flourish. Our relationship with God, our relationship between you and your daughter, and the relationship with friendships, our community, our family, we have to make time for them. Similar to making a budget for our money, we have a savings, we spend it, and then we give it away. We serve others with our money. That's what we want to be thinking about when it comes to our time. We actually get to steward it. And the reality is as a counselor, we see a lot of girls struggling with anxiety, and it's because she's overscheduled. We have a lot of expectations in our culture to perform and to be, in every activity under the sun, to be able to get to college, to be able to get scholarships, all these activities that we put our girls in. And really, when you take time this month to look at your schedule, to look at your daughter's schedule, to look at her design and what is really at the core of who she is and what she gets most excited about, you're going to be able to paint the picture, to schedule out her time so that she can learn to keep in a more regular rhythm of peace and keeping her priorities at the forefront. I bet you're also going to learn some things about time budgeting yourself, and learning how to set aside that special time once a month with her in the next year is a part of time budgeting. So I'm giving you some tools in this lesson. You're going to be looking at how you're spending your time now, how your daughter's spending her time, how you want to spend that. You're going to be taking time to pray and ask God, where does he want you to spend your time? You might even have to trim and say no to some activities this next year. So that's why we're doing this at the beginning of your year together. And then you're also going to get to come up with some creative scheduling ideas. So getting to know your daughter's personality, you might end up using an app or a planner or making a really pretty bulletin board and putting it up in her bedroom. But there's going to be a lot of ways for you to specialize this particular lesson with who your daughter is. You might be thinking, why are we making this a big deal? And I just want to say that I love looking into the scriptures and seeing how Jesus actually models how he time budgeted. Maybe he didn't use those words, but I see how he intentionally pursues the relationships in his life. He has his 3 closest friends. He has his 12 disciples. He serves the masses, and he takes time to pull away from the crowds, to go be with God, the Father, and to have quiet time, to pray. He is being very intentional with regulating the resources of time that he's been given in those 24 hours. So this is a skill set that most adults don't even know how to use or do, and so you're setting your daughter up for a beautiful, successful skill set that she's going to use over the years, building those muscles, and it's going to be her norm. She's going to know how to prioritize, to know when to say yes to something, to know when to say no to something, and to feel confident in her relationships, especially with her God, with you, and those that God has brought into her community. I'm really excited for this year, particularly this month. Have fun, and just remember, God is the one who's growing the fruit in your life and in your daughter's life. So lower your expectations, expand your timeline, and watch and see what God will do.